Good afternoon now, Princess, from the Epcot parking lot where I got a great parking space. The row ahead of us is, I guess, the premier or preferred parking, and then we're here because at a certain time they start filling in the alternate rows, and I guess I got here just after they started doing this. So today, I guess it was 10:30 or 1:30 arrival for the best parking, and all right, it worked out great for me. I'm here for lunch first. I am going to do the one booth thing, and it's going to be Mexico today. And they have 2 savory items and a dessert, as well as a cocktail that I want to try. They do have a beer, but I had it the other day over at Frontera Cochina in Disney Springs, which was excellent. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I had the mole. I think I did mention it, but I'm mentioning it again because it was really, really good. Okay, it is a slightly overcast day, increasing cloud cover, but it is 81 degrees, give or take, right now, so the weather is nice. I don't plan on staying very late. I do want to get out of here before it gets cold. I don't want to lug around the jacket now and then have to wear it later, but I am actually parked so close that coming back for it wouldn't be that big a deal, so now I have options. Okay, well, I'm going to head over to the entrance now and get lunch because, and I know you are sick of hearing me say this, but I'm hungry. And that's health privilege. So let's go eat. To give you an idea of the princess parking I got today, this is the row where we are parked right here. And right over there is the entrance. And while today is technically a rest day, my goal is 10,000 steps. I don't know if you can see that. It says 136, but this is pretty much the first time I've walked today. Ooh, is that bad? This is just a weird observation, but I think it's been maybe 2 weeks since I've been here, but it really feels like the first time in forever since the parks are so accessible now. If I don't hit one up in a while, it feels like I haven't been here in so long. Oh my gosh. Eventually, this will be me. It is another very breezy day here in Central Florida, and there is now a second barge out on the lake blocking the view. No, not bitter at all. First, of course, is the Chili Relleno, accompanied by the Diego pomegranate margarita. Not really sure who Diego is, but I hope he makes a delicious margarita. Like I said, it is very windy, so I'm going to get started before this gets cold. Chili Relleno and Diego pomegranate margarita. All right, really, really good. So the Chili Relleno is it's really a solid dish. Very good. It's not a green pepper, so I was able to eat it and really enjoyed it. Reminds me very, very much of dining at El Torito. So let's see how many people get that reference. But the absolute standout of this round is the margarita. Really, really good. Brilliant concoction. Now, I am noticing that the salting of the rim is also a spice mixture, which complements specifically the mezcal, because I had it, again, the other night at Frontera Cochina. I got a shot of mezcal with the spice mix, and it is really good. It is something I'm definitely going to have to look up and use at home sometime because I really like it. I don't remember what it's called, but I will find out, and I will let you know because I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'm going to just stand here for a little bit. It is brightening up a bit. Warming up a little bit. It is still very windy. It's transitioned from breezy to windy, but I'm going to enjoy this margarita, then taking a ride, a dark ride, a slow ride, which we can do here at Epcot, then be back for round 2 very soon. The music turned up a couple minutes ago, pretty loud, and didn't really know why, kind of suspected, but there's a cavalcade over here on this side of World Showplace, but I didn't think they came this far, but there's Aurora, Jasmine, and Snow. So I guess, I don't know, maybe they changed up the route a little bit. Nice to see them over here. Well, here I am just hanging out in the area between a World Showcase and Future World, enjoying, or about to finish, my very delicious margarita. Yeah, that is good. And saw a story, or was reminded of a story that popped up not too long ago about some incident that happened that kind of affects me. And, well, you know, you'll probably learn, no, you definitely will learn, that I traveled a lot for work, which means I flew a lot and may end up flying a lot in the future. So this was kind of a personal thing for me. And it had to do with something similar to what I talked about recently, and that's with Matheson, and how we can't really trust government. We just can't. It was recently, disclosed, made public. Maybe this was known, I just hadn't heard it, that the FAA chief colluded with a major airline to suppress a whistleblower over safety concerns. I don't know. And the reason that came up was I saw a story recently that the EASA, which is the European aviation bureaucracy, decided to end some reciprocity with the FAA. I think specifically they're going to do their own evaluations of U.S. jets or U.S. aircraft, which is fine. They should do that. There's really two reasons they would do that. One is practical. They really should do this on their own. The other is, I don't know, kind of the other real reason. And it's a great example of how these agencies are, well, in fact, government itself is the most corruptible organization that we have. And it's a terrific example of how the people that are supposed to be deciding our safety have other priorities. And that's really a problem, because in the case of the 737 MAX, an aircraft which I have flown on, and even up front, it's not the best experience. I will agree with a lot of people about that. The story of its certification is a little bit muddy, but what troubles me most is that no one in the FAA that I can find, and I looked around to see if there was a report of this or anything, has been fired over this. Now, people at the manufacturer, Boeing, have been fired, and they should have been. Probably more people should have been fired, but no one at the FAA seems to have suffered any consequences from this, and people were killed because of this. So what does that tell us? I mean, am I crazy to think that an FAA certification probably doesn't mean a whole lot? Well, yeah, actually, it does. And like the TSA, I don't really trust what they tell us or what they do. And there are alternatives that are so much better. And because today is essentially Mexican Day, it's time for a ride on El Rio del Tiempo. Wow, boys, you're so lifeless. What's going on here? Brilliant, thank you. This is how windy it is. I ordered the Frita Caro Margarita. It did come with a smoke dome, as you just saw, but right now I'm just enjoying the shimmering effect because of the wind. And this is the pork belly that is going to accompany this. And I think this looks like oh, there we go. A very delicious combination. Well, cheers with a carrot margarita. Ooh, that's good too. Now, the reason there is a better way is because, like I said, not only is government the most corruptible organization we have, it's because when government is responsible, no one is responsible. Again, like I said, it seems no one at the FAA has been fired over the MAX issues. They still all have their jobs. People at Boeing have been fired. Okay, that's good. But the problem is, typically, and this will happen with the TSA, when something happens in their dominion, Homeland Security will simply declare that their procedures were followed and not us, leaving the airlines, the passengers, the local governments, which often own the airports, to pick up the pieces. Just like the FAA did with passengers and villages and local countries where the MAX incident happened. Their position is basically not our problem. I just happen to be here at the same time again as the Princess Cavalcade, so let's wave to Rory, Jasmine, and Snow again. All right, the pork belly pasteur, which is gone, and Frida Cara Margarita. It is very windy, so I think a lot of people are losing their refuse to the wind. Mine has blown away to a place where I can't actually access it, so I have to maybe point out to a cast member. Anyway, the pork belly, very good. Oh boy, sorry about that. The pork belly, again, very good. Solid dish. El Torito, again. Would get it again. And the Frita Carrot Margarita, a very well executed novelty. It is very good. I do like the other one better, though, but both of these were fantastic and definitely worth trying if the description sounds like your taste. Definitely enjoyed them. So I'm going to stand here for a little bit, enjoying the crowd and the day, finish my margarita while we talk about some other things. Well, just enjoying the afternoon with my Frita Carrot Margarita. It is very good. So I said that, you know, the government should not be responsible for a lot of things, including certifying aircraft. And I can already hear all the one-dimensional lefties out there saying, oh my God, you just want corporations to do whatever they want and kill people for profit. No, because I'm one of the people that would be killed because I fly a lot. But the thing is, there's a group of people, there's actually several groups of people that actually have an interest, a very important interest, in making sure that aircraft are safe. And those are the people that work on the aircraft, specifically the pilots and the flight attendants. I would feel much safer flying an aircraft that the pilots union had deemed to be safe than any government bureaucracy. After all, not only am I putting my life inside that little aircraft, so are they. And they're responsible not only for the aircraft, but for the people inside it as well. So the pilots should be involved in this process from the beginning, not just the bureaucrats. In fact, I would say that pilots unions at each airline, in fact, not blanket, should be the responsible ones for saying an aircraft is safe to enter into service. Not someone in Washington who rarely flies. Now, people in Washington, in the FAA, they actually do fly occasionally, but it's not enough. So why are we letting these people who have no interest, who aren't responsible, who are facing no consequences, tell us what's safe, when there's people who actually do have an interest, who will face consequences, who are responsible, have almost no say? I think that's a huge problem. So maybe agencies like the FAA should be set aside in favor of the people whose lives actually matter in these cases. I would feel a lot better, and it actually would lead to much safer, a much safer aviation industry. Did I mention that this used to be the Odyssey? Yes, I think I did. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did. Many times. The worst thing about today right now is I am nowhere near my step goal. Gotta step it up. Wait, that was a pun. I didn't mean that. Okay, bad joke, I'm sorry. Heading into France because despite the delicious food and beverages we've had over at the Mexico booth, we still want to try something new every day, and today that will be Something in the brand new Ratatouille expansion at France. The brand new restrooms, which are right there. Right there. Yeah, because, I don't know, recording that would be creepy. Yeah, I used to think these were the coolest fountains ever. After that fun trip to the bathroom. Okay, well, anyway, now time for a fun ride on Spaceship Earth before dessert. The sun has set on Epcot, but we are not done. Still have to get dessert. I have to get my beverage first because I had the last beverage already at Mexico, so I'm gonna get something else and then head over there. But it is a beautiful evening looking over Imagination. The temperature is holding out quite nicely. It is not cold yet, but it's getting cool, and it's going to get cool for the next couple of days. Forecast is for, believe it or not, 30s on Tuesday, I think. I'm not ready for this. I'm never ready for that. Time for dessert, and I wanted to start with this because this is the Barrel of Monkeys Raspberry Beret. Yes, it is a nice and fruity concoction, quite delicious. Yes, I did already try it. It is over at Refreshment Port by Canada, so now I have to make my way back to Mexico, but I thought this was super special. I heard about it before, but I did not grasp the full name. If I had realized that this was the Raspberry Beret, I think this would have been a drink worth bounding for. What do you think? Well, cheers to the Raspberry Beret. It's really good, actually. So there's this one. I think there's also a blueberry beer somewhere that I will definitely try this week before I go. I wanted to try these two just because they sound really, really interesting. And I do like to try as many beers as possible. At least this one has a name that is memorable. I read it and I remembered it. And I like the last one, which was like 14 words or something. So I guess good on them for a name that is easy to remember. So yes, I know I have to do something about these ears, or this ear, because it is just not cooperating. But that's fine. I'm just gonna stand here and finish my, well, not finish it because I still have dessert. Now, do I think there's going to be a meaningful change anytime soon in my lifetime to make things actually safer for people? No, I don't. But I think there is a chance, because in a case like this, a union can actually do a lot of good, because this is an instance where the membership, has a reason to be active. Unfortunately, there's too much money involved going different directions. There's too much money involved in facilitating the bureaucracy. There's too much money involved, managing the union, and the leaders just become corrupt once they realize how much power they have, and it just doesn't work out as best as it could for a lot of people. So while I encourage people to think a little bit differently, as always, and try something new and let the people who matter make these decisions, I really don't think it's going to happen. Now, I'm going to still fly, because one reason is I actually have a lot of confidence in the pilots. I've been flown around the world safely so many times that, it's fine. And even when this was going on, I still had complete confidence in the pilots at the airlines that I choose to fly all the time, and would have boarded this aircraft with no problem with any of them in command. And even today, I would, regardless of what the FAA says, regardless of any changes the manufacturer made, which hopefully made it better, but maybe we'll never know. So I still have confidence in the pilots and the flight attendants and, the airlines that I choose to patronize. I just want those people to have more say in my safety, because realistically, their safety is my safety. Now, as for the European Union, or the EASA, why did they make that decision? Well, that's a bit interesting. We are finally ending tonight's deliciousness with the taco de chocolate from the same booth, the Mexico booth. And it is a chocolate taco with some fruit on the side. It looks absolutely adorable. So hopefully it is as good as it looks. Back to EASA real quick as to why they made their decision. Like I said, it made sense. They really need to do this on their own, but fortunately, I think part of it had to do with the reason government is corruptible. I would not be surprised to learn that, I don't know, some people thought, why is the FAA bureaucracy getting all the action? Why don't they get their cut? So it made sense for them to do this on their own, just to, I don't know, share in the motivation the manufacturers provide. Unfortunately, that is the nature of corruptible government, and that's what will always happen when you put too much power in the hands of too few people. You know, and why wouldn't this happen in my solution? Well, it's a lot harder to rig an election with a lot of people. You know, just ask the Democrats. They only targeted a few districts, and, you know, look where it got them. So, yeah, that is, I don't know, that's my idea. Put the people who are actually at risk for something happening in charge of making sure that things are safe and that it works for them and that they have the input into this. And I don't know, I would feel a lot better. After flying millions of miles, I still feel confident. I have no problem boarding an aircraft, but I just think there's better ways of doing some of these things, and the government just isn't, or actually, the government doesn't have to be such a big part of it. Taco de chocolate, or chocolate, whatever. Really good. It was a very fine chocolate dessert, and I enjoyed it. It was, again, El Torito, so it was just, you know, a nice, I guess, Mexican-inspired chocolate dish. Nothing particularly unique about it, although it was presented very, very well. So it does get points for that. All right, well, I thoroughly enjoyed my Mexican tour today at the booth here at Epcot. I had 5 items, 2 savories, the dessert, and the 2 cocktails, and the special raspberry beer over from Refreshment Port, and excellent. All very, very good. You know, reminds me of things from days of yore. It is about 7 o'clock. Park is open for 1 more hour, so maybe I will go on another ride. And the chosen ride is, of course, Soarin', which is showing 20 minutes, but I don't think so. After my super fun ride on Soarin', I decided to check, and I hit my goal. 11,000, well, heck, almost 12,000 steps. It'll obviously be more than 12,000 by the time I get to the exit, because I'm just walking out of the land now. Oh, you know, well, you don't know, but now you do. This is kind of how I remember the moon as a kid. Well, that was a super fun day at Epcot, actually a super delicious day at Epcot too. I enjoyed everything I had from the Mexico booth. I did hear some cast members talking about some weather coming in, I guess. They were clearing up some things because of high winds that are going to happen tonight. So around 3 or 4 in the morning. I hopefully will be asleep, but it'll probably wake me up. So I will see what's going on with that. So I hope you enjoyed our little trip to Epcot today and explaining why, you know, I have always felt safe flying, and while I will feel safe flying in the future, and that's because of the people that are doing the flying, not really the government. And I look forward to the day when, you know, we're all going to go flying together. And I think hopefully it'll be sooner than everyone thinks, once all this nonsense is over and, you know, life gets back to normal. But until then, I am ready to go, despite all of the problems that these bureaucracies cause. But I am still thankful for my problems.